So here we go, the lights are going on. When the free lights go out, we are going the Argentinian Grand Prix and we are underway. Dede gets a great start from the pole position. He's going to take the lead and Etmil attacking Pablino instantly into the S's and makes a few mistakes, and now Eddie trying to go up the inside of him but not quite working. Here's Argent and Mike Knight back down in the field. Argent and that's Silsier in his fun team colours, trying to get past him, and Matic also has made a great start as Argent defended against Mike Knight there into the hairpin. Here's Etmil back on board. He's going to maybe have a try into Pablino here. No, not quite. Now around the final corners back. Here's Dede. Fastest lap obviously because it's the first lap, and he has nearly a second lead already at the end of the first lap. And there's Eddie making a move on Etmil. So a fantastic start from Dede.
I don't know who is who.
Here's Dell. He's letting Shaitan pass that. Oh!
Oh! That was kind of rough move.
Yeah, very rough move, but it didn't pay out for Dell either. I don't know what he's doing there. Looked purposeful to me, but I'm not sure. I don't know why he would do it on purpose. And here is Eddie then, all the way down in third, under attack from Eddie.
Yes, and fastest lap by Eddie.
Yeah, fastest lap from Eddie, yeah. So he's on the move.
Seems that he's catching Dede.
Yeah, and Pablino also here in second, being caught by Eddie. We've got the second place, third place and fourth place all really close together on the road here, and here's Etmil having a run now at Eddie. Etmil going to the outside of the hairpin, and wow, Etmil just drives clean around him. Great move. Here's a replay then of the start. Take us through it, one of you. Yep, okay, I'll do it. Slow motion, Dede gets a good jump off the line. Pablino a slightly better start into turn one. Then Etmil just gets a great drive off the first corner, has an attack on Pablino but not quite working out for him. And Eddie then maybe manages an attack on Etmil. Now here's Dell, let's see this in slow motion. Whose fault was this? Certainly looked like Dell's in the first way. See, he lets him pass, he actually gets on the brakes and lets Shaitan pass and just dive bombs him into that corner, completely kills him. That looked purposeful to you?
Yeah, that's really rough move.
Definitely on purpose, I think. And here's Etmil going to the outside of Eddie. So Eddie just gets on the mud a bit in the inside of the corner there and slows down. Etmil drives clean around the outside. Here's Dede at the end of lap 3, leading the race by a comfortable margin now. We'll see how much it is, a fastest lap, and Pablino is already 1.6 seconds behind, just opening up a gap early in this race. But there's a really good battle going on at the moment for the second position. Here it is. Etmil just following behind Pablino. Trying to find his way into that gap that Pablino holds. It's very hard to follow another car really closely. Generally you close the gap in just one corner and then pull all the way back again, close the gap again, it's like that. And here he is, going on to the front stretch. See, there's not much of a way to really get a good drive off that final corner, so use it to pass into the front stretch because it's quite an easy corner, quite an easy flat out corner. So unless you go side by side out of the second to last corner, you're not really going to pass onto the front stretch.
What was the exact fuel of Etmil and Pablino?
Well, they're about the same, I think. So we might not see much pit strategy earlier, unless one of them pits earlier for the new tyres to try and get past. There's Eddie also in the background, sort of just stalking those two. And Lons, then Silsier for his new fun team. Another fastest lap from Dede up front.
Yeah, he's building up quite a gap.
Just over 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, really building a gap already. And here's Eddie trying to get that position back from Etmil after Etmil took it so brilliantly on the third lap. We'll cut to the midfield where we can see Mike Knight going around Arjun, and also Pingu driving to the outside of Arjun and making that one stick. Good move from Pingu into that complex there. We are back on board with the battle for third position. See, it's just really hard to get a drive onto the home straight to try and pass for the lead. Pass for the position, even. And he's really close, but just can't seem to challenge at the moment.
Just keeping the pressure.
Yeah, adding the pressure. Trying to maybe force Etmil into a mistake, which will allow him past. Eddie on the grass a bit there, and Etmil seems to have closed up to Pablinho, but he made a mistake there, and Eddie gets the position. Good pass from him. He's up a position into third place, as we can see.
And now interesting if Eddie will catch Pablinho and take the second place.
Yeah, that's a potential battle, because also I think that Eddie has a little bit more fuel than Pablinho, so he'll be able to go a little bit longer, perhaps set a good in lap and get around him in the pit stop phases, perhaps, if they can't pass out on track. That's what we're hoping. No news yet on the Dell story, on whether that was on purpose. He's staying completely silent on the team radio.
And what about the stewards?
Yeah, one for the stewards, certainly. And Dede sets another fastest lap. Incredible early in this race from Dede. Even on 9 laps older tyres, he's setting faster laps than he was on that lap 2. So, just building up the speed.
Yeah, the gap is already 4 seconds.
Yeah, that's almost Pablinho's winning margin from last week. Oh dear, oh dear. If we wanted an exciting battle for the lead, we might not be getting one this afternoon. However, we hope for some exciting battles for the final podium positions. Here is Etmil just getting on the grass there, and another mistake from Eddie too. So both of these guys making mistakes, perhaps on a bit of a slippy track at the moment. As we move on to lap 10. Pablinho now 5 seconds behind the leader. Awful for the rest of them. Dede, of course, championship leader, trying to solidify his championship attack. We're on board with Eddie and Etmil. They've had a great battle from the start of the race. They're still right together. Don't seem to be really threatening to make a move, but if one of them makes a mistake, then they'll be right on them. It looks like Etmil has a bit of a run down at turn 17. However, it's not going to work around turn 18 and final corner at turn 19. Let's see if we can get a run off this one. They're both going to pit. Lap 11, both of them coming into the pits. So I was wrong. Eddie has less fuel than Pablinho, and still see it also pits. So let's see now if Eddie can do some fast laps on these new tyres. And always just gets out in front of Kilkoriki. If Eddie can do some fast laps on these new tyres and perhaps jump past Pablinho. Pablinho's got to be really careful with that. Because so far we've seen that maybe it's a bit hard to pass on track, and that perhaps all the passing has to be done in the pit. So we'll see how many more laps Pablinho stays out for. Really should come in straight away and react to that, but we'll see.
And he comes in.
And here's Etmil making a position up past Kilkoriki. Kilkoriki is sliding a bit there, but we really want to be on board with Pablinho coming out the pits. There's Pingu Pass, who hasn't pitted yet, Matic Pass, who hasn't pitted yet, and there is Eddie Pass into second place. Job done from Eddie, over 1 lap. Fantastic lap from Eddie. 2 gap past Pablinho. Pablinho's fault for staying 1 lap out too, perhaps. But really, really great job from Eddie on the new tyres. And now he's got to get past this traffic, not lapped, but hasn't pitted yet. Surely will pit in the next few laps, perhaps. But remember, all those guys nearer the second half of the grid had about 10% more fuel than the rest of them, so they'll go surely 4 or 5 laps more, perhaps. So Eddie's really got to get past these guys, and he wants to maybe chase down Dede to challenge for this race win.
Yes, maybe this is the chance for Pablinho, the home racer.
Yeah, that's true. To catch back up and pass again. But Eddie is quickly past Matic. And now he's got to get past Pingu. He dives to the inside and makes that one stick into the complex. So Eddie up to 4th, and Pablinho there in the background has also passed Matic. And now here comes our leader. He has a massive lead over the guys that have pitted. Let's see where he comes out, see if anybody hasn't pitted yet. If he comes up behind them, that might cost him a bit. No, he's going to come out with the lead as Lance also pits. So Dede. Well, there's Mike in the background. Mike a little bit behind the leader, but of course Mike hasn't pitted yet, so he has a whole pit stop behind already.
That's a nice gap. That's a nice gap by Dede.
Yeah, it's great work from him so far. His Eddie a little bit behind Mike Knight. Wonder if Mike Knight might be trying one of those heavy fuel strategies like he has been in the past, perhaps. He's in second position at the moment. If he can block Eddie, which it seems you can do on this track, it seems it's very hard to overtake. If he can block Eddie for a few laps and only do one pit stop, it could really work for him, and as I say that, he comes into the pits.
It is interesting to see that Dede is still making his pit stop at the very end of the line. At the last race we have seen him having an accident with, I think it was Walkinger.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Where
yeah, great point.
Dede lost 2-3 seconds probably.
Yeah. Here's a battle for position. Pingu versus Kilkariki into the first corner, and Matic also comes out the pits behind them. Exciting battle here. Kilkariki makes up the position, so good pass from him out of the final corner. So it can be done, you can pass. But yeah, you're right, interesting that Dede is still pitting there, and also interesting that he stayed out those just a few laps longer. He had a massive lead of about 5 seconds, and it's been cut to 2 seconds by Eddie, who pitted a little bit earlier. So, although Dede will now have fresher tyres, and there's an example of just what you were saying. Lex careers into the pits and crashes into Pingu. So that's why it's dangerous, and there we see it comes out in front of Kilkariki, but we saw Kilkariki make the position back up a bit later. And Lex immediately apologising to Pingu over the team radio. Here is our leader, Dede, about to start lap 17 of 39 today. Let's see what his lead is. It is 1.8 seconds.
Well, Eddie made a great job.
Yeah, really good job around the pit stops from Eddie. Perhaps he can challenge for today's win. Obviously showing pace after falling behind at the start, even getting overtaken by Etmil around the outside. But now starting to show some real pace. Here is Eddie here, trying to catch Dede. Second position, just driving the laps. Got to be consistent, got to be smooth. There's Papolino back there in third place, a bit spread out at the moment, but it could all come back together. You don't know if these Grand Prix are so unpredictable. 17 laps completed, now 18 laps in. The gap actually widens by just a tenth of a second, so they're both very close together on lap times at the moment. Now, one of our viewers, one of our favourite viewers, actually messaged us asking what we meant about the cold tyre effect. When you first come out of the pits, I often talk about the fact that the tyres are cold, you obviously the driver's making a mistake. Well, of course, there's not actually tyre temperature in turbo sliders, it's just an expression because you're so not used to the new faster tyres that you will probably make a mistake because they just appear so fast compared to what they were before. So there's your answer there. See the gap going up by just a tenth of a second every lap, up to 2 seconds now. Etmil, here he is, driving a solid race in fourth from Estonia. Really just got a large gap to Papolino in front of him, and a large gap back to fifth place, which I believe is Mike. So no, it's Lance. So yeah, not too exciting a race so far for him, but I'm sure he's excited enough to be running around in the fourth position, competing for top fives after the season he's had so far. Of course, he had some good early race pace, but a bit of a mid-season slump, and now he's going to pit. So is that the second of a free stop strategy, or is it perhaps a very early final pit stop? He might be trying to make a 19 laps into the end, which would be crazy. But we do know that Shy Guy is on a particularly different strategy. He's going for a very long middle stint. He took on 20%, had a very low fuel load at the start, then a large fuel load for the middle stint, and then he's going to go and try and blitz it at the end of the lap. See Mr. Pom there getting out of the way well for Eddie, who follows.
And Eddie's in the pits.
Yeah, so
It is Eddie.
there's Papolino going by into second place, and now Papolino has the chance to perhaps take back the second place if he can make a really good in-lap. He's on old tyres, but Eddie will be on those cold tyres, as we like to call it.